All right. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing? All right. Let's go ahead and jump into things here. So CPI, that CPI on a monthly basis actually went up zero point 0.1. The core came in as expected at zero point 0.3, which again I think should be the main thing. Hold on, I missed this one. Why the Fed rate hikes take so long to affect the economy? Because maybe they're not as bad as they make it seem. Anyway, the pound started off pretty bad. Their claim account, um, you know, came in lower than expected. It was a little bit before that was kind of a positive side, but then the average hourly earnings, I'm sorry, the average earnings index on a 3 month basis was much lower than expected there. And because of it, you're seeing some pound weakness. Euro pound 48, that's more than a day's worth of movement. That one has a daily ATR of about 35. So again, that's, not quite 1.5, but not far from it. So that's a big move. Pound dollar down 51, pretty decent. Pound yen down 124. We talked about the pound yen and dollar yen being red as we saw some retracement coming from the BOJ based news. As far as the data today, for the most part, this is more considered a dollar strength thing. That's how the market's taking it right now. I talked about it yesterday that the CPI, I'm not, the yearly one, I could care less, right? Doesn't really matter to me. Because again, looking at what was happening a year ago versus today, has Has it gone up? Has it gone down? What is it? Is there growth in there? I got it. But on a monthly basis, it's like, is it working? Right? Are we at such a restrictive level right now that, again, we should stop? We should do, are we so restrictive that the world's ending? As of right now, the CPI on a monthly basis went up. So if you're going to look at CPI and be like, that's the end all be all, this is not the direction. If maybe it was minus zero point 0.1, then you could say, yeah, we're restrictive. It's going back down to that 2% where it should be. But right now, this shows that it's climbing. And then, for a core basis, which for me is much more important, obviously, stripping out oil right now when it's pretty cheap, I think is kind of cherry picking data, taking out the most volatile items to get a true gauge. This is going up, right? So this is going up. This is going up. Why are we talking about lowering interest rates? I think JP Morgan now said, I think there was a comment. I think it was JP Morgan. Maybe it was Goldman. Maybe it was Goldman that said it. Basically saying that they can see rate cuts as soon as July next year, right? Which, I don't know. Having one cut as soon as July, do you think they're going to just magically go in there and start cutting half percentages off? No, I don't think so. And people are talking about 5 and 6 drops and 100 basis points down. If we're not even starting them till July, do you think they're just going to go boom, 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 boom? No way, right? They'd probably do one and maybe pause for a little bit and see kind of, is inflation. Because here's the worst thing. They cut, and then inflation starts skyrocketing again, right? That would be a big problem. So I don't think they're going to do that. U inflation likely cooled again this month. Again, that came out 2 hours ago. Has it cooled? No, I mean, the yearly lower, but on a monthly basis, it's going higher. And on the core level, it's going higher. So, yeah. So we get a bond auction today. Not necessarily a big deal. On Wednesday, tomorrow's got all kinds of stuff, right? Tomorrow's got all kinds of stuff. You got pound data, pretty strong. GDP on a monthly basis is expected to be negative. Again, we know they're more recession territory. We have all the PPI data. Now, the core PPI showing an increase of 0.2. Again, not really going down. And then on the regular PPI, which includes everything, it was negative, but also expected to just be flat. So again, also not the negativity that we're thinking. Then we have all the Fed funds. We'll see the economic projections, the press conference. We know there'll be all kinds of chaos tomorrow at 2 o'clock. And then tomorrow night, we have New Zealand GDP and unemployment change and unemployment rate expected to go higher again in Australia. So we may have some big movement with a little bit of a reversal opportunity here. But I think overall, this is what we're seeing. We're seeing the unemployment rates go up in many places right now. So, again, we saw it in the U.S., and that was I guess, the biggest shock was that it went up by 0.2. But again, remember, unemployment rate is kind of a subject. I'm going to say it's subjective, and some people are like, no, it's not. It is, right? Because if you haven't been working long enough, you're no longer included in the data. Doesn't mean, I think labor utilization is a better read for it, but there are some weird rules to where the unemployment rate comes from, which I don't think are actually correct. You know, it's not. I don't think it's a true gauge. Like I said, I think it could be kind of manipulated and misread a little bit in my eyes. But again, tomorrow, big day. We'll get the core PPI data, and again, PPI is more preferred than CPI. But like I said, retail traders, CNBC, they love that CPI number because, like, oh my God, right? But that's not really what the Fed's looking at. They're looking behind the scenes. So that's what we got next 24 hours. I said tomorrow is chock full of all kinds of stuff. That could be one of the biggest days of December, I think. As far as the VIX goes, the data's out now, so you can see we kind of came back down to this again, 12.6, rather low for what we've had, and then we maintained the overnight. Now that the data is out, it popped all the way down. Now it is down, and typically when the VIX is up is when everything is red, not when it is down when everything is red. As far as the dollar, technically right now it's painting a little bit red, but there's where the dollar's going. You can see it drove down, 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 and then this big green candle is the 830 number. And it went back up. It played with 104 again, right? There's the 104 number, pulled down, reloaded, and then boom, it punched through. Now there's some sellers here, some sellers up top. But overall, is this down to 102? No, we're still back up at that 104 range, right? Now we'll see what happens tomorrow, right? Obviously, they could make a statement. They're not cutting interest rates tomorrow, right? I think with everything going positive right now, that would I think everybody, even the people that say that they would like to see the rates cut. If the Fed cuts tomorrow, I think everybody scratch their heads and be like, really? Seriously? Right? If they did that, I think gold would just go insane. Gold would be crazy. A lot of the comments a couple months ago were, that they wanted to get up, to maybe one more raise by the end of the year. Well, this is the last opportunity. Could there be a surprise to the upside? And what would that do? Would it be accompanied with a statement of, Yeah, we're gonna go a little bit more restrictive, but we're gonna end up cutting faster instead of letting this go for 2 years. I think that's the right call economically. Um, but again, a lot of people are not so much there. Hold on one sec, guys. One sec. Hold on one sec. All right, sorry. Melissa's got like an insane day today, and yeah, we got all kinds of craziness. But anyway, with this pushing higher, again, I think the Fed, in all honesty, if the Fed raised it 0.25, I think that would be the correct solution, and then start cutting it in July. I think go faster than and rather go slower would be a better route. But right now, with this rallying higher, with the CPI higher, the overall indices are not liking it. They were all kind of flat, fluctuating back and forth. They're all starting to accelerate a little bit more red right now, as they should be. Remember, CPI is not really the end all be all, but the fact that it is going positive when we're supposed to be so restrictive that, oh my God, the world's ending right now, seeing two different numbers, again, on a yearly basis, you can pat yourself on the back. We went down, but again, not an accurate gauge because things were moving at a different rate than they are now. That doesn't mean that things are not getting more expensive, right? 1 month can mess this whole thing up. And who knows, next month, maybe the CPI here goes back up to 3.2 because they saw the jump here. And then what do you do? Yeah, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. But right now, all the indices in the red. Russell, again, we know Russell is always the most interest rate sensitive, and that's down almost an entire percent already, 13 minutes in the market. Now, looking at the commodities, all right, crude, 69.10, right, down 3%. Think that's, again, I love it. I love below 70, right? Again, the United States doing their short sale in the Strategic Oil Reserve, making some mad money. Won't pay taxes on it, obviously. But yeah, I think that's great. Is it going to piss off a lot of people? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Remember, part of the reason why the United States wanted to put a price cap on Russian seaborne oil was to kind of stifle them, right? They wanted to hurt them. Well, if the actual price of oil is $66 across the board, because that's where it's heading, but yet the Russian cap is at the same 66. Are you really hurting Russia, or is everybody else being hurt at the same pace, right? You're not making more than Russia if you're only getting $66 for what they're getting, right? They lose some power there. Plus, is OPEC Plus going to be happy about $60 a gallon? No, absolutely not. So the question is, what is going to be the next drop in the hat? What is their next play, right? Are they going to accept it this low? And on top of that, if oil is at 66, where is the innovation? Where is the driving factor? Solar is still much more expensive. They said last year it was actually more. I think this year's not done yet, but I think they said they expected it to be even worse this year. Um, Last year, 2022, they said it was actually more expensive. You would pay more to drive your fully electric vehicle than if you had the gas equivalent. And this year, with gas prices coming the way that they are now, ending this way, I'm sure the day is probably going to be the same. It's still more expensive, and there's not the incentives there. How are you going to drive the innovation if this is done at 66? So I think there's a lot of people all going to be on board on this one, right? It's really hard to say do away with fossil fuels when they're super cheap because people aren't going to want to change them, right? Natural gas also down 2.71, down at 236. Again, it's going to be that mild weather. We had frost outside today. There was, I don't want to say black ice because it wasn't true black ice, but there were some spots out there that was icy on the driveway. So again, mild temperatures. I got more snow yesterday. Again, it was a dusting. It was like in the gardens, basically. Gardens on the top of the hood. I got more snow yesterday than I did all last year. So yeah, maybe it's mild temperatures now, but do I got a snowstorm coming? Not now, obviously, but is it coming? Am I going to get something this winter? Maybe. Gold, silver, both basically flat. 1982 yesterday, we're 1989, so we're getting better. We're getting to the good 80s, right? Right. If we talk about the, and it's funny, anybody that's younger is like, what do you mean the good 80s? What does that mean? Like 1982, 1983, 1984, those were the good 80s, right? jelly bracelets, really, really big hair, right? By the end, 89, we started getting in a little weird, right? But we're in the good 80s, right? 1982. Silver. Silver actually did pop up a little bit, right? 2280, right? I think 2250 is really where this needs to be. Now, they're both basically flat. Silver should be double what gold is. Silver's a little bit on this on the red side. If the dollar continues to move today, um, gold and silver wise, as far as a hedge for inflation, um, is it really hedging? Not really, right? Not really, not right now, because people are like, "Holy crap, it's going up again." Is it going to continue to go up? And not really. Is the Fed going to cut interest rates to give inflation a chance? I don't know. Now it's higher, right? So a lot of people are asking a lot of questions, and again, you can see the confusion here. One of them is up 0.04, one of them is down 0.04. A lot of confusion. Like, oh my god, what do we do? What do we do? Um, so yeah, interesting spot there. Funny, like I've been checking this too. Like I'll go down and look at Bitcoin. I actually saw a guy today. I haven't seen him for a couple years. He's was like a family friend, and then kind of moved away, and then he was back visiting or whatever. He's big in the blockchain and kind of everything it brings. And whenever I see him, I think again, he's one of the not a Bitcoin guy. He's a blockchain guy, not a Bitcoin guy. But you know, I think there's many. It's funny seeing it 41 and everybody. I saw that it was big enough. Their market caps over Exxon's or something like that. But it's like at any moment it could literally just be like outlawed and blocked, right? It could literally just be shut down. Oh no, no. Hold on one sec, guys. That's bad boy. That's a very bad boy. He had a piece of peanut butter toast for breakfast, and yeah, he just handed me the his sister's iPad because his is recharging, and guess what? There is peanut butter all over the face of the iPad. He thought it would be a great idea to, I guess, flip his toast over. One sec, guys. Let me handle this before God, the play gets ruined. Jin will kill me. Right there we go. Thank God I had some electronic wipes. Yeah, don't do it again. I'm gonna spank you. Go to your room. He actually, it's funny. The guy that I'm talking about, he has a son that is like a month older than Kip, two months older than Kip. I was like, "Is your kid all over the place? My kid's trying to drive a tricycle off the couch. Has yours tried that yet?" I'm like, if not, it's coming. All right, so here we go. Aussie dollar. So Aussie, we were looking for a big drop down, and we were like, maybe it's down here, maybe, but it did the exact opposite. It went up, it kind of loaded up, and then kind of stabilized. And it did actually go higher. Now it didn't actually hit. When we talked about the level at 66.17, we knew that we kind of had a new level here, and I'll just put a horizontal line so you guys can see it. It went up, and again with a big spike up. All right, then get down. Give me the bread. Give me the bread. No, no. Oh, you want your truck? Okay. I don't really have time for this, bud. I don't put peanut butter on. He is a mess. So it did go up. It did grab sellers where it kind of should have up on the spike. I didn't grab this trade. It went a little bit too far from what I had. We were looking for kind of a base and a push, and I would say right now, give me this. Thank you. Here, take this. There you go. The one good thing about this is such an emotional response with its pop up and move all the way down. You can see that this was about 73 pips. It's only got a 64 pip daily ATR, which means it's already done a day's worth of movement just from that news release. We were looking for a base and a push back down again. Now I think it's an important kind of step here. Now we know that there's basing in here, and again, it kind of came through. It didn't really give us a great entry on there. And again, you can see it kind of came up and based here, and then kind of went higher and found all the sellers here. No, you're not having the bread. You shouldn't. You should have thought about that before you wasted. Um, Two things are going to happen. One, this continues down. Not going to get rid of a lot of these things in here, but this continues to drive down into this level for reversal. I think that's one great error. That's one great trade. And again, is the Aussie strong? Is the dollar weak? No, but hey, stop. You want to go to bed? Um, Great reversal point, right? So if we don't turn now, which again we have to be cautious with it, this is a lot of movement. U.S. session is open. Now is when that tends to happen. I think for a reversal, I think what we're looking for is looking for this to come down. Look for it to drive in. Look for it to push out, and then if it does not go lower, that's where you pull the trigger. Would be right there, looking for it to go higher. So let me put this like that. I'm looking at something along those lines to come down here. So I think it's a great level. It may actually reverse back up to here. Now the question is, will it go all the way back up to the origin of the move? You got to be looking at that and saying, maybe. And the question is, if it does that, why would it do that? Strong US data. Here's why. You have the PPI coming in, and you have all the FOMC both economic projections as well as the interest rate. With it loading back up here, both of those are kind of telltale signs that this could be positive. And again, we already know the PPI here is expected to be positive. It was minus 0.5 before. It's expected to be 0.1 positive. What if it's 0.2 or 0.3? That is another opportunity to get short this one. So what makes this one difficult right now is we got to figure out what area it's going to use up top. It did push pretty deep. So if we were going to draw a zone on here, right there, you can see it did drive pretty deep in there. With it pushing that deep, I don't think that's a reliable level to use another time. Makes it hard, and that's a lot of movement. At this point, I almost kind of wanted to go down here and then start to pull back again and see if we can. Again, all this is gone now. We can't see any of this, right? This little level right here, yeah, nice. Can't look at it. This one here, technically, we shouldn't be able to look at this. We're gonna keep it there to see if we can get some type of basing in there because it may still be useful. But right now, the cleanest we have is this right there, and probably I'm gonna say right there. Like this is my top and bottom for tomorrow. That's fine. Right. Right now, that's kind of my top and bottom. Okay. Because we spiked up, I think this one's probably gone. Uh, Actually, we are going to pull that off. Oh, that was the 50. That's why it was there. I was like, why did I have that horizontal line? That horizontal line was the 50. It's just too deep. I don't think I'm going to use it again. So yeah, what I'd like to see, again, we got to make it through this reversal time. I like to see it come down and hit, and this actually could be a today trade in preparation for tomorrow morning. And all that would be is a parabolic move down, a retracement into a zone. And again, it's a decent zone. It's okay. It's been here twice. It didn't make much room there. If we're able to come down maybe 12:30, 2 o'clock, look for a reversal and a push back up and go to the origin of the move. So parabolic move, parabolic retracement, load up for tomorrow, and then look for shorts coming from the PPI or potentially even the FOMC economic projections. All right. Aussie yen. So there's our Aussie yen trade. You can see yesterday, actually last night, we talked about basically pulling back and hitting it. It looks like we just got out here at 9 o'clock this morning. There's the pullback, and we said, okay, listen, come down and base. And we drew it over here. We're looking for the push down, and it didn't. It held and maintained. We were sitting right. Here's the 1030 candle right here. And we were like, okay, give us the push and pull back. And it based, it based, it based, it based. It came down a little bit, base, base, base. And then finally, last night at 7 o'clock, what did it do? There you go. Actually, you put it right there. Whoops. I didn't want to move that one. I wanted this one. My bad. Right there. There's the trade. Right there. Okay. That's what I was trying to move. So I missed it by a little bit. A little too far. Should have been there. But once we got it. But anyway, it's out now. It's officially gone. That was 45 pips in the other direction. You can see it is reversing right where we talked about here. And this is one of those ones, it took a long time to set up, right? I mean, we were drawing this level here yesterday. Actually, it would have been, which one is that? Yeah, it's 1030. That's where we drew it from. This one actually, it was there. And there. So you can see how long it actually took to kind of come in. It didn't, it literally just rode, and then midnight. Midnight is when it triggered. So not a bad one. That's an overnight trade. So right now, being that the push is down here, there are buyers in there, right? Is it a level where we could see reversals? Absolutely. It's the right place for it to reverse. It really wasn't necessarily a yen-based move on this one. We expected the yen to kind of retrace after the big pop yesterday. Again, the big push. We're like, okay, wait to see where the reversal is. We got the red, green, red up top. We marked it. I said, look for the pullback. It's exactly what it did. Now this entire area is buyers. It pushed back to the origin of the move. We do have Australian data. What do we got here? Yen. Manufacturing index, not going to matter that much. Right now, it's becoming a yen proxy. Overall, again, I wouldn't be surprised. Again, the yen has really pulled back a lot in the overnight. There will be profit taking involved in that one, and I can see it kind of pushing back up. So, is there a great entry? Do I want to take anything off of this? Not really. Not really. It's not my most favorite level. Um, you could use it and say, "Hey, listen, there's a here's a base and there's a touch." Yeah, sure, absolutely. I mean, that's where we're going at the same level right now. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm interested in taking a long off of this. Sure, it could reverse right now. There's a little bit of a zone a little bit lower. I think if anything, and again, I don't love this, and I think I pointed out yesterday, I don't love this area. I like the fact that it's a one candle bottom, right? Big push down, one candle base, and then it started to move. But because we have to draw the fibs with this gigantic wick and this gigantic whip, that's the only thing that makes it a 50. I would say right now, downside target on this one, change this to there. That's where the downside target would be. Um, eh, yeah, it's fine. It's kind of there. It's all right. I'd say look for that target first. Could we bounce off that one potentially? I like it better. I feel more confident within here. And again, this absolutely could be a reversal. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's been hit too many times, didn't really explode off, and we just hit it and we pushed deeper than we did before. Maybe it reaches down to here, but remember, this is not enough space for Harry Potter. So even if it does come down and hit this level here and come back up, there's not enough space here for this to push down. And this may be what it looks like when we can change this to a dot, saying, hey, listen, that's potentially what it could look like, right? But overall, I think if you are short, look to get out at 94.92. Again, if we get the correct red, green, red, again, there will be some move with this one tomorrow. There is Aussie data tomorrow night as well. Maybe we play this one with the Aussie data. It's expected to go up, so we expect this to, again, be a little bit more negative, but there's so much from now till then, right? Um, oh, yelling. Inflation is coming down. I see no reason why labor market is strong but cooling, right? Yeah, I mean, she's right. Inflation's coming down, but how long is it going to take? Labor market restrained, but it's cooling. Wage increases continuing at a healthy pace. No reason to believe last mile will be especially hard. I don't know about that. The economy is on the way to a soft landing. Right. Again, the Fed hasn't destroyed the economy yet. Rising real rates may impact Fed decision on rate path. I don't know. She's not really saying much. I don't think anybody's going to be focused on that. So that's what we have here. Euro dollar. All right, so Eurodom. This one drove up, and we were like, and you can see it drove higher. So I mean, it was setting up for more of a short trade. The problem with this one is we really didn't have any great levels. When you look at it like this, we had an area here, but it's been here, and again, if I bring that across, we didn't even make it up. If you look to see where the price did turn, right, and this one was kind of higher. It kind of already turned off of that one and loaded up the punch higher. Um, yeah, I mean, I would say it was set for more of a short trade. The Europeans sent the thing straight up in the air, but not really a great zone in here. Are you done being bad? Come over here. Sit on my lap. Did you get your cry out in the other room? Here, sit here and watch Baby Bus. Um, huh. I still think I'm looking for down here. See if we can find a decent top in this one. Oop, we're trying to go 2 hour. Still up there. Uh, Still the only thing we have over there. Pull this target off. Pull this off. Stay over here. Again, I'm on a 2 hour right now, so we're getting a little bit bigger. that's not bad. If we can get a 12 pip target, kind of reversal zone over here, the fact that it's on, again, we did that on a 2 hour, that's not too bad. So right now, here's kind of our bracket, kind of what we're looking for either way. The 108.39 and then 107.06 or 107.07. There you go. Which one? This one or this one right here? You want Blippy? Blippy? Okay, well you pick it then. Stop making so much noise. Um, yeah, so I think we wait. Let's see how much movement we have. Yeah, it's about 60 pips down, 60 pips up. It's got a 60 pip daily ATR, so we really need this one to load up. Right now, there's nothing really great in here. Nothing telltale. I mean, there's a little bit right down here at 107.45 ish, but I don't really like it. I think there's better opportunities out there. Right now, we're going to bracket it using the top and bottom. If you want to play this one tomorrow for PPI, look to see what happens in the overnight. Look to see what happens from that 3 o'clock to 8:30 window. You can do one of these where you do. Let's see, you do this. Do it from 2 and then come in 8:30, right? See what happens during that time period. See if it pushes up. Right now, there's nothing lined up great on that one, but I think again, looking at these two time frames, European Open and then the news time, see what happens. See if we got another run up because again, run up, run up, run up, run up, news, boom, right back down to where the European market opened. European market open right here. So again, like the Europeans knew the data, right? Euro pound. So we know why this one is moving. Again, really kind of crappy pound date on that one. You can see if we run this all the way down, you can see that the 23, it kind of slowed it a little bit here, but not really. It loaded up the punch higher. So kind of the same thing. I would say that we are officially kind of now high on the curve. We were hoping to be all the way down here because we were calling for a long trade. We're like, yeah, let's get this. Let's see if we can get the bounce. Unfortunately, yesterday morning we were sitting here. So it ended up doing this. We needed it to do this. And you can see, had it gone down from our time, we would have been right there. And then the response of when the news came out was straight up. So, yeah, we unfortunately, it did push down and did go higher, but we were looking for it to bounce off this lower time frame. We were really hoping it was going to grind through, and it did. It actually popped up and then loaded up for the punch. So, and we were looking for up. We were just, we had the right direction, but unfortunately, the reversal here, it happened here instead of one of these two levels. So, it's there. Anyway, I would say we're high on the curve now. All this is obviously emotional data that's based off of news. It's not the end of the world based news, so we should be looking for this to turn and get short. Again, do you want to do it on this pair? I mean, it's only got a 30 pip daily ATR, so it's not a ton. You can see in 24 hours, this pair has moved a total of 38, and it is reversing back, kind of coming back down again. So overall, I would say look for pound strength kind of to roll back in the market. European weakness as this one turns and rolls back down again. My call would be it goes probably there, maybe potentially over here. We do have some more pound data tomorrow, obviously, which is pretty big, the GDP on a monthly basis. This one's going to be hard. Again, the previous was point 0.2, and the forecast says it's going to be completely flat. So the market's preparing for bad, right? Does that mean that we stand a chance for good? Maybe. Oh, stop! I just caught one now. Where we are right now, I would say look for this to load back up. If we stay and maintain around this 86.11, then we're looking for pound strength for tomorrow's news. If it does push all the way back down again, I don't know that we can get all the way back down. Maybe we push back into this level, and then we're looking for a long base trade. But I think this one would kind of be telegraphed. As I said, the market, looking at what the market's preparing for tomorrow, right? Actually, over here on forex, oh, that's weird. Oh, GDP. Hold on, that's weird. GDP month over month. Month over month. Oh yeah, point 0.2. Oh, okay. So Forex Factory is actually saying they're expecting a negative number, right? Where Trading View is expecting it to be flat. So it looks like there's a lot of negativity with it. Okay. Question is, if it comes in negative, are we still going to have the negative movement, or will it be a nice reversal point? So interesting spot. So we'll see where this one moves. Overall, I would say in the next, I don't know, 12 hours, I would expect to see this kind of roll back down. It will start to get really, really slow. You can see actually, this one slowed at like 12 o'clock right there. Yeah, it started to slow and then reset itself back down again. Obviously, this one the biggest movement is the overnight. So yeah, look for it to push down. Unfortunately, not really. You may say, well, there's a base. Is there Harry Potter? It's 30 pips. Maybe we can see it go back down. Right, but we're gonna run out of steam here pretty quick, and I do think that claim account is gonna be on everybody's eyes. So we were looking for a little bit more help. We talked about this one pushing down. Right, it pushed down a little bit from there. It just didn't go up as high as we were looking for. We were kind of hoping yesterday. Let's see, Monday 10:30. We were sitting here. We were looking for one more push. Unfortunately, that was the top. It just started to grind lower and push, 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 and went back to the 23 and kind of reset itself. And we're kind of sitting there right now. Overall, it is technically red from where we were yesterday. Was it a big mover? No, we were looking for a big push here. We got a little push. It just was much, much lower. I mean, we mentioned it kind of pushing down to this level here at 156.73. Unfortunately, it was already here. So it did. It went down and kind of hit the target. We were just looking for it up here, and it only needed to move a little tiny bit because it had pushed back down again. So, overall in this one, the one nice thing, again, I want to point out on this one, we talked about this being the profit target, right? This is where the wick was behind the wall. This is where the stabilization was. The 23.6 was also right there, and that's where it reversed. But right now, we do have a base here, a base here, and a base here. And we're kind of playing with it here. It's like, wow, we're hitting a lot in the same zone. I think it's important to note now that we've been kind of smashing into this zone here. This is a rather small zone. It's only about 15, 16 pips. This is a 152 daily pip ATR. Um, I think there's the ability here to be able to take something short. Now, right now, it's kind of set up. It's kind of pulled back a little bit, went a little bit higher, kind of a little bit far. But right now, I'm thinking that there may be the possibility to take this one short from the 156.42 area. Oh, whoop, yeah, that's the right one. I was like, wait, what did I do? 156.42. So yeah, I don't think it's a horrible trade. Like I said, I'd like to see the base. I think we could probably further refine this one a little bit, but I'm wondering if this one is going to be something along these lines. 1 to 3 right there. And again, it's a little bit, ideally with the profit targets there, but it's actually it's higher than the bottom peak. So kind of looking for a short in this one. And again, best way to play this one is set that one for an alert, pop it right there, and go. Pound dollar. All right, so pound dollar. Pound dollar is a hard one. So yesterday, you can see this one is out at 11 o'clock. It finally did get out. We talked about where the profit was. 10:30, we're kind of sitting here. We're like, yeah, it's going to hit those guys. And it did. It hit them. It rolled and kind of went back up again and reset itself. Now, it did punch through. So this one, you may say, well, would you have gotten short there? I think it's hard because all the spacing here, it hit it here, it hit it here, it front run it here. It got hit again. It's like, listen, this is the third actual hit. If you count the kind of the front run here, it's the fourth hit. It ended up going higher and going south. This is one of those ones that's kind of like, hey, listen, we pulled into a zone. You could do something like an 8x trade on this one or just a traditional options trade. Reason why is it's been there 4 times. You don't want to get whipped out. The whip is what took you out before it dropped all the way down again. So overall, let's see, got that push. I still like the piece down here. We're still, again, this is still valid. We're waiting for it to push through. We got a Harry Potter. It's still got more room to run. You're seeing a green right now, not because the dollar is inherently weak. It's just the profit taking. This was also a big run. The news candle itself was 80 pips, right? It's got an 86 pip ATR. The entire push was 104. So it's past a day's worth of movement since that news came out. You're going to see retracements back again as people are getting out with profit. Um, let's see. Let's clean this up a little bit. Um, yeah. Fuck it. So let's pull this one off now. Let's see. Let's go for the next clean level up top. I don't like that. See if I can smooth this out a little. One a clean one there. See, I don't like this one as much. Yeah, I know the 61.8's there, but look at this. Higher, higher, higher. It's like, like whatever the last thing you put on, that's the one we're gonna use. I'm like, Ben, I don't want that one. 142. This is an 86 daily ATR. Technically, 142 is a bit far, but we know we're clear at least to this level. And with this level here, I don't really think there's a lot of strength in this one. God, we almost need on this one. We almost kind of need with this. I mean, we kind of. I know all the data is negative, but what if it comes in flat? Better than expected. We could get some pound strength. We almost need like price the rally up into here and then start chopping. And then when the data comes out, spike it higher and then have this thing just collapse right back down again. We almost kind of need that. Actually, it'd be more like a sorry. I know it looks like I'm drunk, but I'm not. I promise. Something along those lines. Something like that. Something like that. Again, pound news being a surprise positive for the UK, pumps it back up, gets us within range of here, right? So we would have profit taking and the PPI on a monthly basis, which is expected to be good. And if it comes at point 0.2, we should see that the dollar strength roll back into the market. Wondering if that's kind of what we have. Now, the big question today is this going to be the bottom? Are we going to roll back down again? Are we going to pop any of these levels? I think it's fine. If we grind back down again, if we're sitting below this 124.70, again, we have an alert sitting down there. You guys can see the alert. We're talking about a Harry Potter trade punching this down through that level. If we don't reverse at all today, again, you could say this is parabolic. If it doesn't, if it grinds down, then we look to short, right? So right now, I think there's two trade potentials in this one in the pound dollar, short from 126.67. If by chance, again, we're going to need some help from this GDP trade. We're going to need to pump up there because it is a little bit too far of a movement. Or if it just continues to deteriorate down again with strength. And again, if the market is playing, hey, listen, this is going to come even weaker. Remember, these trades here, these Harry Potters are not really news-based trades. But maybe we grind down and we're into that one before the news even comes out. So I think that's what we got. We have two different trades, and again, we're looking for a basing level. So this is this 124.70. I would say, if anything changes one to like an orange, saying we're looking for it. We don't know the exact entry on that one. We'll be able to check it out later today. But we're looking for two different shorts here. Again, that orange will drive me nuts. I'll be like, why is orange? But you guys know what I mean. Look for the base and then the pullback, and then for the continued push down. And who knows? Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. Again, if all the data come, maybe pound data is super weak and the dollar is super strong. Maybe tomorrow we're hitting this. Right? 124 flat. Right? But today, obviously, 125 will be a big deal. That's the level that we have set down here. So, yeah. So, again, I think there's some shorts coming to that one. Overall, there's kind of the trade. Now, I love that we drew this one yesterday saying, hey, we're looking for the base. We actually did get a base. Right there was the base here. Here's late yesterday. We kind of started the base above. Unfortunately, I love to tell you, hey, listen, you guys just made 62 pips on this trade, bringing it back down to the origin of the move from yesterday. Here's the problem with this one. Yeah, it came through. It based above. It did come down and push back again, but guess what? It didn't hit your 183. So yeah, it looks great. We drew it. We're like, hey, listen, there's that base. If we can come down, and again with all the basing here, you're like, yeah, it looks good. Looks good. It's gonna break. It's gonna break. And it did. It did exactly what we said it was gonna do. But unfortunately, if we were playing a little bit more conservative, waiting for the pullback, guess what happened? You didn't get your entry. It pulled back and it missed it by 4.6 pips. So yeah, now if you, I mean, if you saw the base here and I say, hey, listen, if it breaks the bottom, I'm taking it, right? Or maybe you took it over here. I mean, great trade. It did cycle back down. You can see what did it do? And again, this is not straight right now. Here, I'll bring it down here so you guys can see. We'll copy it, paste it so it's completely the same level. How about that for where you should be taking profit from reversal? Boom and pop, boom and pop, boom, came back and then popped, and now it's just literally playing through that level. So again, picking your profit targets, pretty decent. Um, it could be a potential reversal point. It's not bad. It's not a bad level. Again, profit target first always. Um, right now, there's no sign. The red is actually below the green, so we're not at a discussion yet for reversal times. Let me put it back down to 30. Sorry. We're not quite there yet. How deep did it go? And it went pretty deep too. Yeah. Actually, on here it doesn't look. The red, the green didn't go above, so it's still in the downward cycle. So, um, Yeah, I think it's going to continue to grind lower. Right now, if you look, right, there's your green. You can say, oh, the red didn't come as low, but then the green closed above. Or the green did not make it through the red. And then the next candle, it turned red again. So it's like, oh, you wiped it out. If anything, right now, it's showing you that we're still a red, a green, and a red to the downside. It's obviously a reversal, but into a zone with buyers. So it's not, you're not taking a short on this one. But I'm wondering if it's going to take all the way back down again. Again, profit target's out. If you guys took this one, again, you're good with it. Take it off. Again, if we were waiting for this, you missed it. You missed it by 4 pips. Um, but again, with the base, actually with the base on top, would you have taken it? Uh, oh, it pulled back up and it's like closed. That's a hard one. It didn't. You guys can see how close it missed there. Um, yeah, maybe somebody. I'm sure some people took it trying to be more aggressive on it. So it is what it is. Yeah. So right now, again, we have all this garbage over here that we really need to kind of chop through. Right now, again, I'm not interested in taking a long off this one. Maybe. I mean, you know what? I'm more interested if it does pull back. So right now, let's see. I think that one's a better one there. Stop. I'd say right now, if we can pull back up to here for, what I was looking for was, oh crap, the GDP number. Right, I'm not down there. What I was looking for was the GDP number coming in here. Right, I'm looking for something now. Again, this one's had a lot of movement. Um, right. Ooh, actually, that may be 10. Um, if this will load up and if we can punch up higher, and again, maybe the manufacturing index helps bring this up higher. I think if we can be up there, the 183.10, I think we pull the trigger up top for this news tomorrow. And again, that would be pound weakness in there. Maybe it comes in worse than expected. On the flip side, there is a confirmed level down below. I'd be a bit more cautious with this one as far as an entry goes. Obviously, the pound's got 2 hours left. It's going to run out of speed. I think that's probably a decent range. On the top side, it needs to go 60. On the downside, it needs to go about 90. It's got a 178 daily ATR. So, basically half an ATR at its biggest point and a quarter of the ATR. Now, again, the 178 is a little bit expanded right now because of what we've had the last few, couple days in the last 14 days. Um, but overall, again, 60 pips in either direction from now till tomorrow morning for that news, I think is pretty decent. As far as taking this for a reversal, it's pushed it pretty deep, and although it's put it in here, it's got it's got sellers right above. So ideally, if we can just grind our way back up 60 pips to the 183.10, I like that for a short. If this is going to maintain weakness today and grind its way down again, there is a base and a confirmed level, and it barely touched it, and that kind of was a takeoff point. So I do like this 181.67 figure. So I'm kind of good with that one too. I kind of like that one as well. So not necessarily bad. So that's kind of where we're set. Dollar CAD, no question here. Did we hit it? No, we didn't hit it. We mentioned yesterday this one is really just whippy. Like this is a lot of whip back and forth. I think today's candle is great. It didn't go back up to the top, but there was a area here, area here, area here, area here, area here, area here. So we have wiped all this out. So for all intents and purposes, we have a level sitting right above, right here. And again, we're pretty close to it. Um, which is fine. I would expect that this goes negative today and actually rolls back down again. Obviously, a parabolic base move. The entire move was 71 pips. It's got a 68 pip daily ATR. So in an hour and a half, we put an entire average day's worth of movement in. Again, by definition, parabolic move. We should have a parabolic retracement. There were sellers here. Not a great, again, not the ideal turn, but this one should continue to deteriorate and push back down. Again, I am happy with this one. This wipes out this entire area here, right? All this back and forth, whipsawing, non-drama. We've wiped it all out now, right? So I think today's move was good in preparation for tomorrow. Um, we still have a lot to the downside. So ideally, I would like to see this pull back down, reload up, and then again with any of these figures, I like, you know, a lot of the Fed presidents said, we probably have one more, and then they didn't do anything in November. The data is showing us slow, but at the same time, the core number is still going higher. I mean, remember, the Fed is like like nobody will ever be happy with the Fed, right? No one's ever going to say, "Oh my God, Powell did such a great job. The Fed really knew what they were doing. They really controlled this. They're great," right? The Fed is what everybody wants to hate. Like it epitomizes everything, right? Rich people saving the banking institution, right? I feel like if the Fed is going to live by their MO, I feel like they need to raise it tomorrow. I don't think they will. I mean, everybody, put it this way: if they do raise a 0.25, they're going to shock a lot of people. The market's going to go insane, right? It's going to be like that, like last minute, Hail Mary, right? Um, you know, quarterback in the Super Bowl trying to kneel it down because the game's over, and messes up the snap and a lineman picks it up and runs it 60 yards, and that team wins, right? It's that type of hysteria if they raise tomorrow. Um, I don't think it's the wrong call. I think it gets us to where we start cutting interest rates sooner. Again, the economy, she's talking about a soft landing. I don't think we have any landing at this point. We haven't seen a landing when every other nation has. So, other people are cutting. Maybe that's why we're not doing it. I don't know. Yeah, I think we load it back up, look for a punch. We need something big. We got to clean all this garbage. Like from here to here, right? All this is garbage basically until we get down to about there for the dollar cat. So, not a whole lot of tradable stuff. Um, yeah, So yeah, happy that we had this. Expected to roll back down again. I'm hoping we roll and push even deeper, and load this sucker up. I think PPI will be the big mover tomorrow, but who knows? I think I don't know. Powell's not going to tell us when he's going to cut interest rates, so we're going to have no idea then. I don't know. Maybe he says we're not looking until the end of 2024 or 2025 to start cutting interest rates. Maybe the market takes that as a super strong signal since everybody's convinced it's going to be like 6 cuts next year. So dollar CAD's gonna be the weird one. Hard part about this too is oil's pretty much getting nuked. We're down at 69.50, right? So we got a little bit of dollar strength, so it's kind of weird, right? So I don't know. Maybe tomorrow oil bounces back a little bit. We go over 70. That gives it a little bit of strength, and maybe I don't know. Maybe we I, I want some big movement. I like to be able to trade dollar CAD again. Dollar Swiss. Here we go. So yeah, what did we do? We loaded up. We knew there wasn't a great zone. We knew there was profit target. We're like, hey, we'll see where it goes. There's a lot in here. We talked about buyers here, buyers here, buyers here, buyers here, buyers here. Tons of buyers down here, right? We talked about all these buyers down here. Right here was the closest one, right there to there. And again, 1, 2, 3. Are we interested in it? Not so much. But if you remove this, what happened? We ended up using it. So again, it's kind of like they knew. We were sitting, let's see, Monday at 10:30. We were sitting right here, right? We drew the line. It kind of towed the line. It continued to deteriorate back to the origin of the move right there. We hit it. We bounced up. We loaded up again. The European market took over. There's the European market. Did they kind of know? Because the news came out here. Yep. Week, and time for that news, and boom. So, yeah. So at this point, I would actually expect this to continue to push to the downside. Again, you're going to see profit taking coming in. Is it at a 50? I wouldn't be surprised if it's a 50. Let's see. 61, yeah. Between 50 and 61. So there. I mean, there is a level there. I mean, you could argue that, hey, listen, there's a level right there. I'm at that wick. So I would expect this one to deteriorate back down. I'd like to see if we could load up for tomorrow. How many pips is it? 40. Yeah, we could load up for that one. What was the push? 57. Okay, so this actually had is a 57 push. The daily ATR is 57. So a nice push, but I would expect this one to roll back down again. The problem with this is, again, that's hit number 4. You can see it drove really, really deep. Question is, do we go to the lower level over here, right? Are we going to push down to that level next for tomorrow? So, yeah. Again, this is what we mean. Look to see what the Europeans do, right? The Europeans drove this sucker all the way down, right? They drove it all the way down, and yeah, nice little push. Oops, hold on. Did I click the wrong button over there? I was just looking across, guys. It looks to me like on the one screen everything's clear, on the other screen it's not. Do me a favor, type it in chat real quick. When you guys are looking at over here, is that a little bit fuzzy for you guys? It looks like it's a little bit fuzzy. There's an error on the pop up that says the encoder setting is wrong, like the frame interval or something changed, and it does actually look a little fuzzy on there, which again shouldn't be, but it does. So if it's fuzzy, let me know. Yeah, that would annoy me. I'm sorry if that's the way that it is. But anyway, look for this to pull back. Dollar yen. Again, what happens? Yesterday, 10:30, we were sitting. Monday, 10:30, we're sitting right there, right? And we said, hey, look for it. We said look for the base, and it did. It did base. There's your base. There's your pullback. It didn't go all the way though, and went back to the origin of the move and went lower. What did the Europeans do? They loaded it up as well. Europeans drove it down. It held, and what happened here? Boom, nice little pop off 145. And there obviously we talked about it yesterday. There was a zone sitting there at 145. We knew it. Right, nice little pop. And I would say probably the same thing. Got the base over 146. Yeah, I would expect this one to tear back down again and play with 145. We'll see where it pops for tomorrow. Right, may not be a bad one. I don't know what that means. Hold on, let me take a picture of this so I can fix this maybe after. Okay, I got it. What that key encoder thing is. No idea where that even is, but we will see. All right, so yeah, I would expect this one to roll back down again. Again, it's probably hitting. Let's see, is it hitting a 50? Yeah, it's hitting the 50 level right here. So not surprised. Not surprised. And again, kind of again proxy. We expected this one to be red today, not because of the dollar, but we expected this one to be red today because of what we saw in the yen, right? With this big push up, we expect massive levels of this. We called for the reversal, so not really surprised, and it's kind of where it was before the BOJ conversation anyway. So yeah, I expected to roll back down again. We'll see where this one goes. We got plenty of time, right? You can see how much room we have. Right there, we got a lot of space on this one, so plenty of room for this one to load back up to. So yeah, there'll be people taking a short there. It's not the worst short. Again, big emotional response into a 50%. Right? I don't even know how much is it. 16 pips. So yeah, I'm not in this one. Just FYI, I'm not in this one, but this is actually one that will not be the worst of trades. It's about 16. It's sitting right there. Basically, taking it back to the origin of the move. Right? Again, profit target for shorts should be right there. So not the worst. It gets to a 1-to-1. Move the stop loss to break even. Protect yourself in it. Again, there's no harm, no foul getting 1 or 2 pips on something that's going to reverse on you. I know some people are just set it and forget it, let it walk away. And sometimes these things will come back up and hit a few times and go down. You're like, I made nothing. I could have made something. It's like, yeah, but you didn't lose when you didn't need to, right? Right. Sometimes, I mean, there's pros and cons for both sides. Right? If you over analyze and over manipulate, then yeah, set and forget it. Just walk away. But if not, again, sometimes it's not the worst. Let's look at crude. Let's see what crude's doing. So crude is absolutely disintegrating. 830 accelerated it down, right? And again, it's kind of, we said here's the profit target, right? Let's see, Monday at 10:30 was right here, and what did we do? We went right back up. That's where it should have turned. We marked it off and said, hey, listen, this entire level from here, whoops, right there to there, whoops. Wow, what are you doing? I don't know what you're doing in here. What is this? You want Paw Patrol? Wow, can I turn this down? There's the kitty. Um, so it was an area. I mean, obviously, Europeans sent this sucker all the way down. Now we are at the area where there is buying at the bottom side. Yeah, yeah. So not a bad pullback. We said that level was there. Again, we hit it at 8:30, and then again this morning at 3 o'clock drove it down, and then I'm sorry, yesterday morning we were there, and then we kind of chopped back and forth, didn't do much, and went back up and grabbed it one more time and took off. So, yeah, not surprised it's green. Oil futures fall as another rally attempt loses steam. Yeah, well, play on words there. Yeah, overall, I wouldn't be surprised if this one kind of comes up and stabilizes around 70. Now there are bars here. Let's see. Is there any? Let's take this to like a 2 hour. Thing right here. Oh, do have this. Oh crap. Oh. Uh-huh. All right, so we have a little Harry Potter trade that we're looking for this thing to come all the way down to 68.16. So it looks like we are looking for the base. Obviously, we don't have it yet in there. Maybe on a 15. No, not yet. We don't have it yet, but it could be forming right now. That could be the formation of it. Um, kind of a big zone. Maybe we shrink that a little bit. Gets rid of really, really quick on there. We'll see. I don't think we have the base in yet, but I'm kind of almost looking for something like that. Like that spot. Yeah, technically profit taking doesn't need to come in until about there, right? Not bad. So yeah, it looks like we could have a potential short coming in here. 6886. So not bad. Natural gas. All right. So natural gas. We talked about a potential level yesterday. It looks like about 2 o'clock when that market was closing. We did try to drive up to there. It ended up going a little bit higher and then just kind of basing and falling back down again. We're still basically right at that 240 level. Um, I think the good thing about this one is we do kind of have a bottom. It's not a really clean bottom, so don't be using it for reversals at 228. Um, it kind of came up and it had a one candle, but it's still lower over here. So not the ideal spot. Again, we're kind of lower than where we were yesterday. Didn't love this one. 46. Um, yeah, I mean, there's so the way this is creeping higher, higher, higher. Yeah, it's playing with a level there, but honestly, I don't think I'd short this one until up top again. I just don't love much on this one. Okay, that's nice. That base, that test before that push instead of blocking that. Oh, yeah. Let's see what are the next clean. I don't mind. Here's the thing. I don't mind that level. I think either of those are decent reversals points. So the things that I like about this one, I'm on a 2 hour right now, so it's not as pretty looking here, but you can see that it is higher. So again, not the worst, not the worst of levels, right? Um, I think if we can get back up to 248, it's a short. Otherwise, not much. Gold, It's up 0.02. My Europeans loaded it up, big spike to the downside. We're sitting in buyers. I think this is going to kind of flatline at this point, and it's going to wait until tomorrow. PPI will move this one around. See what the Europeans do with it. That's going to be the correct way to play gold. Right now, you can say, hey, listen, is there a spot down here? Yeah, there is. Maybe we see it, but what does it say? Gold price par gains with U.S. inflation. Yeah. So I mean, it's pulling back. We're substantially below 2000, but I still think 2000 is on the cards for tomorrow. Stop. It's in there. So, yeah, it's fine. It is what it is. Um, Again, I think we can get up to silver, or if we can get up to 2000 tomorrow, potentially short. Silver, kind of the same thing. This one actually ended up breaking it. It made it all the way down here. So, I mean, at its peak, what was it at? 1 to 2.78. Right? And then it just came back up and used the 23 and then pushed all the way back down here again. So this is one of those ones, you probably, if you trailed it, I think we said trail it, you probably got stopped at like a 1 to 2. We're back in the same level, right? We're talking about that push down. We were hoping to get a little bit lower down here, but it didn't. It actually drove up in the European session. So again, it was another one of those short trades. You can see it did wisp a little bit higher. It actually went up to this zone up top a little bit. Again, this is one of those ones that, great thing to play, to trade with options. Otherwise, you got it whipped out with futures just a little bit. You got the direction right. Again, they loaded up for the short, but makes it a little bit more difficult. Indices are still choppy. Look, obviously, VIX coming down because the data is out. We know the dollar again. It's technically red, even though we drove down and we pushed all the way back up, and we're still at that 104 range. ES again. Let's see, 830. Yeah, 830 straight down. No confirmed levels in the overnight. Your 930 kind of retraced it back up, and we're just going back to the kind of the basing level right there. Again, I don't expect today to be a big mover with everything we have going tomorrow. So wouldn't be surprised if we kind of end up somewhere inside day. And you can see it basically flat. NQ did the same thing. The 7 data all went all the way up. The 830 data came out and drove it all the way down. And then the 930 was sitting kind of right here. It's kind of in a zone, but again, not really a confirmed overnight level. Um, it's technically green, but I mean, I guess from the open it is. But again, here's the overnight kind of median level, and that's what we're playing with right now, right there. So again, opening print, are you interested in taking it here? Not really. I mean, if you did, you'd be positive, but you took some heat in it. And again, I would say that was the best overnight level. YM. YM used it. YM pushed higher. It ended up going much higher and then pushing back down again. This one kind of had a level here yesterday afternoon, but same thing. It's kind of more or less flat. I don't think I would have played this one either. But again, big push down and then your U.S. session open. So not no overnight levels at all. Russell, yeah, there was a gap. there's a gap. 7:30 closed here. I'm sorry, the 8 o'clock candle closed here. Then it opened down here. So we had the gap. It was very, very fast. Big push to the downside, not surprised. And what are we doing? Parabolic move. And then from the 9:30 candle went down. Again, any overnight levels that we're interested in? No. Now, good news. We said that, hey, this is kind of the range that we're in right now. And we just stayed in that range all day yesterday. We said, hey, expected to be inside. Market closed here. So we did end inside that range. And we did pop through it for a second, and then we pushed back inside the same range. So I don't expect Russell to be a big mover today. Is the weakest on the board at -3.7. It is rallying up a little bit. I expect basically flatness today in preparation for tomorrow. I think PPI jacks it around pretty quickly. Then it flatlines, and then again, I think, I think everybody's looking at Powell like, okay, what are you going to do? I think the chances of raising may be slightly higher than lowering, but I think it'll probably be on. The question is, what type of language does he use for tomorrow? So that's what we got. All right, guys, we went a little bit over. I apologize for that. Wasn't too much of a late start today, but let's go ahead and do the giveaway. Will, good seeing you back. We haven't seen you lately, Will. If he wins, Nero's going to murder me, just for the record. Mention his name. I'll give it the 230. That's what we normally do. You dancing now, Kip? All right, there we go. By the way, just to leave the suspense here, guess who sent me a text message last night? Todd. Right? Todd's obviously not with Nadix anymore. But Todd shot me a message last night and said, hey, long time no talk. What's going on? So I wrote him back this morning. Haven't heard back. I know he does a bunch of stuff with his current job with I think Options House. He's with an options company, traditional options company now. But yeah, messaged me. I was like, wow. So I'll make sure I tell him everybody said hello. Anyway, let's go ahead and do the drawing. Winner of today's drawing is Ernest. Whew. All right, I don't feel bad. Ernest won. He had the biggest in there. Neuro stopped him yesterday. Ernest stopped Neuro today. And not that I don't want you to will win, but man, because I said your name, not on purpose, but it's good to see you back. Not on purpose, I would have gotten murdered. Neuro would have been all over that, right? So let's go over there and give Ernest his where you at, Ernest? Jeez, man. You're using your tens, man. You're dropping quickly here, right? Again, you need those three to make this a profitable strategy, right? You were up top, you're up here, but man, the tens is eating you up over here. So, all right, with that, I'm out of here. I will catch you guys tomorrow morning. Oh, here you go. Pick up in a bumpy path. Oh wait, let's say. Oh, I was trying to click on this one. Financial scandals in Tokyo. All right, BOJ is going to be moving around. All right, so with that, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's a very, very important day. Don't expect a lot of movement today. I expect these all to level out. Look for some of those good levels. See what happens. See what happens with European session to 8:30, and that's how you're going to play PPI. So we will jump on right after that tomorrow. With that, I'm out of here. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you then. Take care.